Real fake, real fake, real fake, real fake news.
The Real Fake News correspondent, Katharyn Grant, took to the streets to find out what average people think about Julian Assange.
Hey Jesse, this is Katharyn Grant coming at you from beautiful sunny Colorado, although we are in the shade right now. I'm going to be conducting some man-on-the-street interviews, even though I'm a lady, to just see what people think about Julian Assange. Do you know who Julian Assange is?
No.
Do you know who Julian Assange is?
No.
Do you know who Julian Assange is?
Yes.
Do you think he's a hero, or is he an enemy of the state?
I think that's a very complicated question.
I don't know what to think of him. Sometimes I think he's heroic, and sometimes I think he's a jerk.
Do you think that he's a hero or an enemy of the state?
I think it's a little bit more complicated than that.
Probably both.
Do you think he's a hero or an enemy of the state?
I haven't decided yet.
He's not my favorite guy right now.
Well, to me, a hero.
If you could get inside his head, he's basically up to no good. But might we benefit from what he's doing? Yeah, it's possible.
Why do you think he's up to no good?
Well, because of the unauthorized way he went about hacking information.
It's hard to get authorization to hack information.
Yeah, good point.
Isn't he the guy who does the WikiLeaks?
Who is he?
WikiLeaks.
I'm not sure who Julian Assange is, though, so if you can...
Who is that?
Yeah.
Who is Julian Assange?
He founded WikiLeaks.
Okay, so he's the one who founded it.
Do you know what WikiLeaks is?
What weekend it is?
Great job, Katie. It's interesting that so many people are uninformed about such an important issue. Let's play one more time. In fake news.
Today I talked with Officer Jay about some things having to do with the military-industrial complex. We're here today talking to Jay Peck, who's a career military. He did 4 tours of Vietnam.
And the governor.
And he worked in the governor's office here in Colorado, and also was special forces for many years. So, do you know what WikiLeaks is?
Yes, I know what WikiLeaks is. WikiLeaks has the ability to try to bring information that is not available any other place to public light. And they do this by gathering the information from a host of whistleblowers, indirect or direct means, and they are probably the only form of truthful, unbiased information that's available. How it's used may not be truthful, but the WikiLeaks are genuinely more valid than what you read in the New York Times, for example.
What is your take on the military response to WikiLeaks?
As long as it is not their agenda that's being leaked. Let's be very selfish about it. They could care less. They are aware that these things are going on. They have their own hackers. And sometimes it's to their advantage, whatever their advantages they're looking at, to have a WikiLeaks at the right time and the right place.
So you've heard about the Apache fire incident. WikiLeaks covered this. They leaked it, the footage. So this guy was laughing about it. He was really enjoying killing these civilians. What gets a person to that point where they can commit such an inexcusable act?
People do get off on hurting people. There was laughter, there was giggling, and there was goofing off. I'll tell you, it was not all sad, because you cover your sadness with laughter. I think comedy is a wonderful way of covering up the issues of your own conscience. And you make light, you call gallows humor, and it works. You desensitize yourself to the issue. You change your internal priorities so that you can continue to function the rest of the day. Laugh about it. Ha ha ha, I only did this or that or the other awful thing. Well, maybe tomorrow it'll be a better day.
All right, back to you, Jesse.
That's very interesting, Katie. Thank you for providing that report, and I look forward to more reports from you in the future. Katharyn Grant. It's important that we educate ourselves on the issues that have been reframed for our consumption. As Dr. Paul Craig Roberts said in his article, The Genocide of a Land, become informed while you still can. Propaganda is turning truth-tellers into conspiracy theorists and domestic extremists. We can't take the continued presence of truth-tellers for granted. When one appears, support him or her. Last year, I spoke with Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now!, about the importance of independent media.
Public radio, television, internet, fighting hard to open up the public spaces where you don't have to pay to play.
I actually read a study that a group watching shows like The Daily Show and Bill Maher versus a group watching mainstream news were able to retain the information better than the group watching the actual news. And in fact, the news group were losing knowledge.
That's right. They were less informed. And people who were watching Fox were the least informed.
What do you think that says about news?
Because it's inaccurate. And it is bringing you such a narrow range of opinion. For example, when we're talking about war, there are many generals, there are many people in the military who are deeply concerned about going to war. When they express those concerns, they are not the ones who are invited on.
The wheel of karma is broken.
Joseph Campbell saw new media technologies as an opportunity to educate the masses with a new universal myth that could teach us all how to be the heroes in our own lives. But his theories have been hijacked and twisted to reflect a manufactured narrative that doesn't represent human nature. Who's to blame for the mass genocide that we as a nation are all a part of? Who should be in jail? Soldiers who are subjected to the horrors of war with blood on their hands? Officers and generals who condone the behavior of soldiers, who cover up their actions and continue to operate in positions of power and influence in a war zone? Or should we hold accountable those politicians, the elected officials, who continuously vote to fund the war machine, supporting its propaganda and the violent ideology and rhetoric that war breeds? Or should we lock up the journalists who lie to us and gently feed us poisonous ideas? The mainstream media keeps the general population complacent and apathetic through manufactured consent. The real fake news is the antidote to the media brainwash. And that's the real fake news. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my Walking Eye TV channel on YouTube.
Real fake, real fake, real fake, real fake news.
The Real Fake News is brought to you in part through the generous support from viewers like you. If you like this program and would like to see more programs like these, please show your support by clicking on the support button on my Walking Eye TV page on YouTube and donating any amount. You can also show your support by donating at gofundme.com/mediarevolution. You can like us on facebook.com/therealfakenews and follow us on twitter.com/realfakenews1.